Welcome to our live stream. This is Thursday, and we are on day 8 of our 20-day live stream every single day on the different platforms. And welcome. Let me know where you're joining us from today. We have some interesting topics that we're going to be talking about. We've got our YouTube community here, Facebook, and we're going to join with our TikTok community in a few minutes as well. But as we do every single day, bring your questions, drop them in the comments. And let me see here. Here we go. We're going to join our here we go. So let me know where you're from. I want to see where you guys are from. Ask your questions as we do every single day. Today we're going to talk about the EB-3 EB-3 category. Why is it so popular? Thanks, Irene. Hello, Hand. Why is it so popular? And basically just go through all of it and answer your questions. So welcome from all the platforms. We have Morocco, Islamabad, Nigeria, Cameroon. Excellent. I'll get the cameras going on as well in a few minutes, so you can ask your questions on video as well. And we will be joining with our TikTok community as well and jump on answering the questions. So today is, I think, day 8 of our 20-day live challenge, where we are streaming every single day, answering your questions, and just trying to be helpful as we do. And I appreciated all of you watching our videos and sharing the information. Sharing the information everywhere you go, guys. So that's been really, really helpful. Let me see. I'm trying to get our Instagram feed going as well. All right. So what did we get here? King Khan, let's start the first question before we get our TikTok community in here. Can we expedite I-130 in USCIS, California Service Center? Thanks, Ms. Real. Well, it's more difficult to expedite cases with USCIS for sure, because USCIS, they are claiming that cases there within a certain processing time, and even if it comes out of that processing time, it's very they have all kind of excuses as to why. It has to be really extreme hardship for you to be able to expedite USCIS processing. We've only been able to do it in very few cases that I was able to do it. So it's not that simple. And for those of you that want to join live on camera, as we do every day, I'll drop the link, and you can see the link here. I'll highlight it here. That's the link to join if you want to be on camera. And we are welcoming also our TikTok community right now. People watching from TikTok, let me know, guys, where you're from, where you're tuning in today. As we do every single night, please bring your questions and I'll answer them. And so we'll be able to do it, the ones that missed it yesterday, I'll try to get you today. And eventually we'll also do a video stream as well. Felipe, Angela, Preet, excellent. Felipe already scheduled with the team, excellent. So perfect. And let's get on it. Mr. Real, my U visa supplement application for my wife took longer for acknowledging receipt. Is it a backlog? Yes, with U visas, it's definitely the backlog. Laura from Oregon. We got the Philippines, Nigeria. We got Kenya. We've got, let's see here, from YouTube, we've got Cameroon, Islamabad, Morocco, Berlin, Germany. We've got the entire world is right here. So yeah, please drop your questions. I'll get to you in 1 second. And for those of you that are asking about how to get a hold of me, so the easiest thing to do if you're watching this on TikTok, just send me a DM or use the link in my bio. And for those of you guys who are watching here on YouTube, the best thing to do is just use that link or that number on top here, or I can just put it on the screen. All you have to do is just use that number to send me a text. Same numbers as here, and we can get you sorted. Andrea is asking, I was wondering when will F2A start to have a better movement? So the F2A category, spouses of green card holders and children under 21, is still very slow. In fact, I'm posting a video on YouTube on Monday. I think on Monday the video is going to come out specifically addressing F2A movement. Why is it so slow? And some predictions moving forward, February, March. So stay tuned for that video. But essentially what I said in that video is that because there is more demand for visas but less supply, they are all obviously behind right now. Right, so we're gonna see a bunch of questions here on TikTok. Jay's asking faster 601 processing, the heart processing center. It's slightly faster. It's slightly faster right now, but it's still we still see a big backlog in 601 waivers processing. And thanks for the hearts, guys. Forget we have a goal today. Get to those 50 bolts, and we're doing these lives every single day for the next 20 days. We are commemorating the 20 years anniversary of the firm, and we want to give back. Thanks a lot. Thanks, AP. Give back to our clients and empower the community with answering your questions and being here for you. All right. How much is the first consultation? The consultation started at $150. Let's see here. Oh wow, that's amazing. We achieved the life goal. We got the bolts. Ali is back. We got a lot of people that are back every single day, both on TikTok and on YouTube. So I appreciate that. Can I apply for VAWA outside from the US? It's possible, but it's not recommended. What percentage of VAWA cases get approved? I mean, the percentage is quite high, but remember, there's an uptake of more than 100% of filings in the last 6 years since VAWA became so popular. People are trying to apply for it all the time. Let's see here. We've got important question. Can you re-enter the United States outside since 2014 and have a valid green card? Okay, so that's a good question. So this person is, John King Han. King Han is asking a question on YouTube. Is been outside of the United States since 2014, and now he wants to use his green card to come back. It's going to be very risky because de facto you essentially abandoned your green card because you didn't come back to the United States for so long. I mean, what I would do is I would try to work with the U.S. Embassy, maybe try to apply for a returning resident card or something. But after so long, 10 years, I mean, unfortunately, I think you lost your green card. How can I file under the new visa extension policy? I'm an F1 student. So Unish is talking about, this is for all people that are watching this right now. Unish is talking about this video that I posted yesterday about this new policy, that under this new policy, even if you overstayed your status and you have special circumstances, like maybe you can prove particular financial hardship, maybe there was a government mistake, maybe there was circumstances beyond your control, you can still file an application to extend your status or change your status, and the government will still be able to take it. This is a new policy that I believe that I was one of the first to report it Yesterday I posted a TikTok. We're doing a YouTube video about it coming up this week as well. And so potentially you could do it. It depends really on how long you've been overstayed, and things like that. How long is 601A cases are taking and U visas? And this is a question from TikTok, but also from our YouTube viewers here. So, I mean, 601s are taking about 3 years, closer to 3 years. The U visas are taking even longer. Again, that's because of backlogs. That's because of issues with processing, many things that are happening right now in the system. So, I mean, you guys just have to be patient. Unfortunately, and again, the most important thing to know is that if you're going through a 601A waiver or 601 waiver, do not go to your interview until you have a waiver approved. It's really important not to go to your interview until you have a waiver approved, because it might impact, well, it will definitely impact the results of your case, because if you don't have a waiver approved, then they won't be able to issue your immigrant visa. How long should it take to get a prima facie letter for VAWA? This is a question from Bean. So right now it depends on where you. I mean, from our experience, it's literally about 5-6 months. Some people it takes a little even longer. So it really depends. Mr. Edie is asking, is parole in place still in effect? Of course, parole in place is still in effect. So this is basically where you are trying to apply for a parent or a family member or a spouse that are undocumented here, and you are in the military. You're trying to run through that process. Yes, of course, it's still effective, but it is taking some time. All right, let's see. We've got thanks, Rob. I appreciate it. Question from Ahmed Shibab from our YouTube live stream right now. Can someone get denied for H-1B visa interview if they have been on H-1B inside the US for a while? So the denials that we've seen for H-1B visas, and by the way, those of you that are watching right now, H-1B season is in place right now. If you have an employer who is willing to sponsor you, you have to get on the ball right now, get the cases ready, because the deadline to file for the registration is going to be sometime in March, and you don't have much time. So if you have an employer and you're in the United States, thanks, Leo, you need to start working on this. To answer your question, if you change your status from another visa to the H-1B, if you've been here on H-1B for a long time, and you go into the U.S. Embassy to apply for this visa for the first time, you might have issues there. They might question why you've been here for so long and things like that. So absolutely, it's something to be aware of. Mr. Grad says, in my state, many people were victims of attorney Kofi Amakwa, an attorney who promised work permits. I know. So let me talk about that. And thanks for mentioning that. So I made a video also yesterday. And that video is on TikTok, and I'm going to make a longer version of this also on YouTube. But this attorney Kofi. He was practicing in New York for quite a few years, and what he was doing, he was promising people, specifically undocumented people, a loophole, a miracle solution to get their green card if they filed VAWA. So what he would do, he would say, hey, do you have kids? Let's say that your U.S. citizen kid abused you. You know what? Nothing's going to happen to your kid. Don't worry. And then he would take over. Him and his team, they would prepare this fake statements and file with immigration. The people got their work permits and all that. And then he did it also for people who had no idea. Like the way he was busted, he filed a VAWA case for somebody that had no idea there was a VAWA. And then when she came back at the airport, she was detained by CBP because they found the records that she was an abuser. Okay. And that's how the whole thing was discovered, and they started investigation. So remember, you see a lot of attorneys advertise on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, saying that they can get you status. VAWA is this miracle solution, and they are doing these videos, and they're they're kind of like dancing with all these approvals. You can see those envelopes. They're dancing with these envelopes, and they're saying, Loida, you were at the ELA conference. You were scared to say hello to me or to the fraudulent attorney. So anyway, so these attorneys are promising the world to clients, saying that file this VAWA and then you'll get a green card without leaving the U.S. Let's fix your papers without leaving the U.S. You see a bunch of these attorneys on TikTok dancing with their approvals and these envelopes full of cases. Remember, not everybody qualifies for VAWA, right? Just because you had a fight with your wife and she didn't want to make you tea doesn't mean you qualify for VAWA. Like this, so just be careful, because what happens, just like happened to this guy Kofi, right? All the people that he helped, now they're going to be investigated. All these clients that he helped in the last 7 years, they're going to be investigated, and maybe they'll lose their green cards because they were fake cases. Because you know what I mean. So be careful. If it's too good to be true, don't fall into this trap. Like I said, even if they're lawyers, even if they are advertising on TikTok, it doesn't mean it's true. And you've seen those videos, and you know who I'm talking about. The lawyer, he went to prison. I think he had like 10 years. Edith, can my 245I extend to my husband? Thank you. Yes. So if you're married and you're applying for 245I, you should be able to include your spouses as well. And just so you understand, the way Section 245I works is it's like a grandfather insurance, right? So, for example, let's say, some before the year 2001, you had an uncle that filed a petition for your mother, and you were named there as a beneficiary because you were a child. And then nothing happened with that petition, unfortunately. It didn't go. It wasn't finalized. Or maybe your parent had an employer that filed for the green card, and that green card never went through, but at least you had a labor certification in the first part of the green card. Thanks, Ali. I appreciate it. You now, in 2024, can still use that old petition of your parent or family member to get status, because Section 245 covers all the family members, that even the ones that didn't get the green card at the time, right? So it's kind of like a protection that you can use it to show that as long as you haven't left the country and you have a family member that used it, you can still get it. It's a very powerful thing. And that's why we ask these questions when we do consultations. Anybody filed for you anything? And once again, if you guys want to join me on video on YouTube, you can go to this link here, and right here. Okay, here we go. Hazard is asking, based on asylum, got green card after 6 years of pending I-45. That's great. Let's see here. Mr. Sai, I applied for adjustment of status from H-1B to marriage. We received RFE for I-864, which is the medical, delivered in January 12. No update on case tracker. How do I know if they have my packet? So hopefully, the rule is that if you mail something to USCIS, always use USPS or UPS or whatever tracking. That's all you need. As long as you have tracking that it was delivered, it doesn't matter what happens on their end. Sometimes the system is not updated for months, so it doesn't mean that they didn't receive it, but you need to have proof that you sent it. Okay, that's all you need. Joseph is asking, with changes in EB-4 delays, EB-4 is the religious green card. What are my options? Your options are to find a different option to immigrate, which could be another employment category like an EB-3. EB-3 and EB-4 have similarities because you don't need too much skill in terms of credentials to apply for EB-3. So if EB-4 doesn't work, you can do EB-3. Jacob is asking, how long do I-751 applications approval take nowadays? They're taking over 2.5 years, even sometimes 3 years. That's why they give you the 4-year extensions, by the way. If you apply for 751, you're getting a 4-year extension. There's a reason for it, and that's because of the backlogs. Blackpink is asking, my EAD was denied. Does this mean my green card will be denied too? It's asylum based. Hey Nelly, how are you? Good to see you. A lot of our usual subscribers and followers are here. I'm excited. I'm so happy to see all of you, my friends on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram as well. Place is asking, people in the EB categories are reporting getting interviews for March, and their priority date is beyond the current, so dates might move for March. It's true, but it's not consistent. So people are getting different interviews, in different points. But I agree with you. And is this March for prior date from which DQ? I'm curious from your experience. Thanks, Nelly. Appreciate it. Let's see. Percy, if there's an expedite process for asylee to a green card to join the army, then following to citizenship. Well, again, if the army will accept you, hello, Priya. If the army will accept you, then yes. But you have to go through the recruiter to verify that they will actually take you. So yeah, please post in the comments when you've seen the people getting interviews in March. All right. Okay, so we've got, can you petition for a married sibling? Yes, you can. Can an F1 student waiting for OPT approval get an employer for an H-1B visa? Yes, of course. So like I said, as I mentioned to you before, now is the time. If you're a student on your OPT, if you're just about to graduate, if you're here on a different visa, and you find an employer, now is the time for the employers to work on preparing your application so we can file the registration in March. So yes, even if you're an F1 student, even if you are about to graduate before your OPT, even if you're here on a different status, but you have a degree, you qualify for the H-1B visa, and the season to file H-1B visa is now. Question from Cassie. Thanks, Cassie. Also, guys from YouTube, let me know where there's a bunch of people joining us right now. Let me know where you're from as well. I've been on prima facie determination for over 2 years. How much longer will it take? I assume it's for your VAWA, right? So, it's kind of varies. Some people are waiting longer, but remember the processing for these cases are even more than 5 years right now, just for general. So it's not unusual for you to stay on that status because that's what the first thing they give you. And I see other questions here on TikTok about VAWA in terms of is there a way to expedite the VAWA application and the prima facie? There's no way. It just, like I said, there's an influx of people that are filing for VAWA. And again, it comes back to what I told you before, the story with the fraud. I believe that a lot of these applications are not legitimate because you have a lot of attorneys that are promising clients, let me fix your status without leaving. And they're trying to convince them to file fake VAWAs saying that their kids are abusing them, that their spouses are abusing them. So it's a mess. And that's why you've seen more and more of these. And we're probably going to see, thanks, Nelly, you're probably going to see more cases of other attorneys like this guy, Kofi, being caught in fraud very soon. And just be careful. Don't fall into these. Thanks, guys. We have a lot of people from New York, from the East Coast. Tourders Tekluz welcome. I granted B1, B2 visa while studying in Italy, but I didn't travel yet. Is it a problem if I travel next month? No. If you get a visa at the U.S. Embassy, you have 6 months to use the visa. You have 6 months to use the visa to enter the United States. So no worries at all. Miles, what info does the I lost your question. What info does the embassy have over USCIS in consular processing, 601A and DACA? So the embassy, when you go to, for example, Ciudad Juarez or any of the consulates or embassies, they have, first of all, they have all the data from your immigration file. They know when you filed, what you filed. They have records of any entries that you had. They get that from CBP. So if you were apprehended, fingerprints, they all have that. And also they have information that you can't even get in a FOIA. Okay, so for example, we had a client that went to the interview, and they asked him how many times he entered the United States. He said only one time, but then the consular officer had records that he was fingerprinted when he was 3 years old, when he was 4 years old, and it's either he was fingerprinted or he was fingerprinted with his family who crossed. So his name was connected to another entry, which he had no idea about it at all. Okay, and so because it looks like he kind of like didn't disclose this information, the fact that he had a waiver was a problem, because now they're charging him with fraud. Okay, and there were other cases, for example. So that's why it's very important to speak with your parents if you're brought here as a kid, to make sure that they tell you the truth. Another instance was somebody went to Ciudad Juarez for the consulate, and then they found out that there was discrepancies in his birth certificate, because it looks like the date on his birth certificate is different than the date that it states on his actual birth certificate that was submitted in the case. And when he confronted his parents, they did admit that they brought him here sooner. They just kind of changed the documents to make it look like he was only brought here once, but in fact, they had multiple entries, and that person was denied. So it's very important to get all the info. What to do if immigration lawyer has been suspended and hasn't reached out again? Case is MVC. So if your immigration lawyer has been suspended, disbarred, disappeared, it's fine. Your case is still safe. Okay, and I had a question like this. Somebody from YouTube who was asking. By the way, welcome to our new YouTube viewers right now. If you're here for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And if you need to talk to me one-on-one, use this number right here. I'll post it here as well. You can use that to get a hold of me. So basically what you can do, if the attorney disappeared, suspended, disbarred, your case is still fine at MVC, your case is still fine at USCIS. If that happens to you, you can always switch attorneys. So just because the lawyer is not responding to you doesn't mean that he took your case from immigration, right? Your case is still in immigration. What you need to do, I think your name is not here, but TikTok 99, just reach out to another attorney. And if you're watching this live, take advantage of the opportunity. Send me a DM. We accept DMs. Use the link in the bio. Set up a consultation, and we can help you. But your case is safe with the MVC. The lawyer doesn't control the future of your case. And unfortunately, if they don't respond, then you need to find another attorney. And this is true also if you have an attorney and you're working with an attorney, your attorney doesn't respond to you. The attorney is not giving you the time to explain what's going on with the case. It's okay to switch attorneys. I mean, not everybody is a fit. I mean, I had cases where people, decided not to work with us anymore because of whatever reason, and this happens. It's kind of like in a marriage, right? It doesn't always work, but your case is safe. How to switch from a tourist visa to a green card? Funny that you asked me, because that's the title of our next YouTube video. It's coming up on Tuesday. 9 options how to switch from a tourist to a green card. So make sure that you jump on that video. And but essentially, you can do it through investment, starting a business, getting a job, getting married, green card lottery, asylum. There are many options. It really depends on what is your goal and what are your resources. Processing times for VAWA, definitely over 6 years. It's very long right now. Any DACA updates? Well, as I mentioned before, DACA we're still waiting for another hearing from the judge to make a decision on what's going to happen with DACA. Then that's going to be appealed to the Supreme Court. If it's going to push us to the elections, it's going to be a lot of you're going to see probably after spring, you're going to see a lot of discussion about DACA coming up. They're going to be probably bringing up maybe some new bills that is going to make some changes. This is going to be an interesting year for immigration because they're going to be pushing a lot of things that will be either helping to change the law. But for the moment, you can file renewals and you can file work permits and travel documents, but you cannot file new DACAs. Why is DACA so complicated from Tanya? Well, it's very political, as you know. DACA is the most political thing. It was started by Trump and by Obama, and Trump tried to cancel it. And it's just like it's a very sensitive topic. And I think, we'll see what happens with it. Chirvanji on YouTube is asking, how long is it taking for cases for AOS, marriage already in the US? We received affidavit of support, RFE, even if we have enough income, what to do? So right now, typically they're taking about 10 months to process these cases. Of course, if you have a request for evidence, the most common requests for evidence for green cards right now, just so you know, are number one, financial, I-864. They're questioning, self-employment. They're questioning co-sponsors. Anytime you have an RFE, that's going to add another 6 months to your case automatically. So unfortunately, because you received this RFE and, this is going to be, it's another 6 months, but make sure that you respond correctly. Sally is asking, what should I do if I was waiting on my green card, but my lawyer was the fraud from New York? Well, again, if your lawyer was the one that was convicted and he committed the fraud, and your case is real, okay, you know that your case is real, that applies to everybody who's watching this. If the lawyer who did the fraud, not all his cases were fraud. Many of them were, but not all of them. So Sally, if your case was not a fraudulent case, hopefully it wasn't, then what you're going to need to do is immediately find a new lawyer, like right now, and I'll be more than happy to talk to you and see if I can help you, because we are getting a lot of cases from these fraudulent notarios, and we're helping clients essentially file these humanitarian requests. But if your case was real, then we can prepare whatever needs to prepare for the interview that you will have when they investigate you, and try to go through the process to show that you have no idea that he was a fraudulent case, but your case is real. Now, if your case is not real, that's a whole different story. And, there might be some things you can do in terms of withdrawing the petition. But we've had a few people that are watching this from New York, and they were victims of the attorney coffee. So if you want, you're welcome to reach out to me in private, send me a DM, and we'll help you, work with the government to resolve these cases. But remember, guys, don't use VAWA as a loophole. It's not a loophole. If you really get abused mentally, physically, emotionally, then file it. But if you're just kind of like, well, it'll be nice to get a green card, and just kind of fake something and fall prey to these lawyers who are trying to convince you that your kid, just because your kid was rude to you one day, you can file for VAWA. No, you can't. And that's going to put you in trouble. So just like I said, if you see those people advertise these videos on TikTok, on Instagram, flag those people and report them. Megan, do you have to meet the minimum income per year to petition for a spouse? Correct. You do. As long as you are going through the sponsorship process, you have to meet the income requirements. If you don't, if you lose your job, thank you, Shail. If you lose your job, if you lose your job or something like that, then here we go. Then you should get a co-sponsor. Kimberly is asking, can a U.S. citizen help their parents become legal if they're here illegally? So it depends. And it's not that simple. It's not just like filing, because there's no waiver for parents. The only waiver that is available is for immediate relatives, like a spouse, or if you are the U.S. citizen parent, then you can give a waiver to the child, but not the other way around. The only exception to that would be parole in place. If you join the military, then you can help your undocumented parents. That's what people do. Natalia is asking. Thank you, Natalia, for watching, and for all the other our YouTube subscribers that are here joining us tonight. I know it's 8:30 in the East Coast. We're trying to kind of make those lives in a convenient time, and we're going to be here every single day. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 more days of consistent streams every day. And then after that, we'll be doing them twice a week. And then we have another big surprise for our 20-year anniversary. We're going to do a big giveaway. It's going to be amazing, something huge. So make sure you stay tuned for all our lives, because I'm going to announce it in the last day. Natalia is asking, we completed an asylum interview in July, haven't received a decision yet. What should we do? EAD expires in 2025, and the new waiting time, do we need to file a new renewal? Yes, Natalia, please file a renewal as soon as possible and make an inquiry with USCIS as to the results, as to why it's not being adjudicated. Yes, they are behind on many of these cases, so it's not uncommon, but you need to follow up every 30 days. And if you have an attorney, the attorney should be doing that. Let's see. Fabiola, for medical delays and issues in Mexico, can someone petition to get medical care in the US? I mean, yeah, I assume you're asking for them to get a permit to enter here. I believe it's possible, yeah. Let's see here. How long does it take? Camis is asking, how long does it take for 751 green card renewals to process? As I mentioned before, Amor is asking, are you accepting video calls on this live? Yes. In a few minutes, we're going to start the video calls on TikTok. And yes, so you guys can get in line, request to join on video on TikTok and also on YouTube. I already, YouTube, you guys can join on video as well if you want. Typically, our lives on YouTube are about 45 minutes every single day. And so we still have some time left. Chirang is asking, what happens to marriage cases if presidents change AOS from H1 to green card? So remember that it's election year. Everybody's concerned what's going to happen if Trump, looks like Trump has a good chance to, let's say, becomes a president. Anybody who files now, if you are going to file now, you're going to be in the process. There's nothing they can do. No president can change. No president can change your application. They cannot cancel it if you're already in the system. So if you're thinking about filing something, it's a good idea for two reasons. First of all, as I mentioned before, they're going to increase the filing fees after April. It's going to go up a lot. So right now it costs $1,700 to file a green card based on marriage. It's going to cost $3,500 or more. Plus, if you have 2 kids, it's going to cost $750 per kid, which means you're going to see just in filing fees. If you have kids, it's going to cost almost $5,000 to file for a green card. So you should file now. Yeah, why not? If you are going to do this, you should do it now. I'm going through hell with my USC husband. I sent and intend to file VAWA and withdrew. I sent and intend to file VAWA. So I guess the question is, you're going through a real hardship with your husband, and he's causing you trouble and all that. So yeah, of course. I mean, if you have a real reason to file VAWA, you should do it. Absolutely. Is there a time limit to file VAWA? I was a victim of battery 15 years ago as a child. Yeah, there is a time limit. There is no time limit on U visas, but there is a time limit on VAWA. So for example, if you were married to the abuser and now you're divorced, you have 2 years window to file for VAWA. Okay. Now, if you're still married to the abuser, you're not living together, then you can still file. You can still file for VAWA, obviously. But there is a time limit for sure. I think we have Nina who wants to, on YouTube. Nina, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes. Hi.
Hi, Nina. Can you put your camera on?
Yes.
Okay, so we can see you. Ask your question. Let us know also where you're from.
Okay.
And
Uh, I'm sorry. I can't turn on my
okay,
camera.
that's fine. No worries.
Okay.
Just ask your
Okay.
question and let us know where
Thank
you're
you.
from. Yeah.
So I'm from Algeria.
Okay.
I'm a green card holder. I applied for my husband since November 2021.
Okay.
Now everything is good. We're waiting only for interview. I mean, our case is stuck at NBC.
Okay.
My question is just if we have any, I mean, when we can expect our interview in this years.
Um,
It's at 2A from
you're
Algeria.
F2A?
Yes, a green card holder. I'm not citizen.
Yeah. So like I said, F2A is kind of like it's definitely behind right now, as I mentioned to you before. So it's
So
yeah.
so right now I'm planning to go to my country. I mean, for maybe 3 months, 4 months. I don't know if we can expect any change on this month or no. Like no, this spring or I don't know.
So in terms of F2A,
Uh-huh.
I don't think anything's going to happen this year. It's definitely behind. This is a category that's quite slow moving around because the demand for visas exceeds what they have. And I actually made a video about it that I'll post probably on Tuesday, and you'll see the whole explanation. But I don't think you're going to see any interviews coming up in this year.
2024.
No.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. Thank you.
Right. All right. So let's see. We've got Jose is asking on TikTok. Expires in October. I'll be married in February. Is it enough time to apply for green card or play it safe? DACA expires in October. I mean, I would definitely renew it. You should renew your DACA. Don't rely just on that. User 23. My IR40 is approved since July, but haven't received a welcome letter yet. That's strange that you haven't received it. I mean, what I've seen recently is that USCIS is, first of all, they're losing a lot of mail, which is crazy. I mean, we have a client that I don't know. I'm curious if any of you who are watching the streams, and let me know in the comments if that happened to you. So they'll issue a request for evidence. Okay, it says on the website request for evidence issued, but we never get it, and it happened to me quite a few cases. And so we have to put pressure on them. We have to write to call the customer service number, and they have to open a service request. But these RFEs have a deadline. And so we had a case that we never received the RFE, that denied the case because we didn't respond. So we had to file an appeal, and we won the appeal because we showed them that we never got it. It's ridiculous. So I wouldn't be surprised that you haven't received it. You need to follow up with them. All right, let's take Ahmed, and that'll be the end of the stream on YouTube. But we'll be back tomorrow, obviously, on YouTube as well. But let's get Ahmed to ask his question, and put your camera on if you can. Since we're on YouTube, it'll be nice to see your face. Where are you from, Ahmed?
I'm talking from Ohio.
From Ohio. Okay. Do you have a camera?
Uh, my camera is not running, so I'm sorry
Okay.
for that.
Okay. No worries. No worries. Ask your question. Yeah.
Yeah, I have seen you speak about H1B if you have been in the while in the US. So I'm asking if I was in STEM OBT and I switched to H1B, and then I'm
Okay.
going to do the interview overseas. Is it a problem?
No. No, it's not a problem. So if you get the H1B here, you will have to do the interview overseas so you can get a stamp in your passport so
Correct.
you'll be able to come back and forth. Yeah, it's no problem. First time H1B visas must go to the US Embassy and get the stamp in the passport.
Is there like a possibility of administrative processing, or is like a low probability?
I mean, it's always possible, but hopefully you won't get it. Where are you from again? What's your country of nationality?
Egypt.
Egypt. I mean,
Yeah,
I haven't seen too many Egyptians that got admin. We've seen a lot of people from Afghanistan, a lot of people from Iraq, Iran who are getting this. I haven't seen too many Egyptians, so you should be fine.
Okay, thank you.
Okay? All right.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. So that is concludes our YouTube stream for today. We still have a few more questions to take on TikTok with a few videos. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you're welcome to join us on TikTok to finish the stream. But don't worry, my YouTube friends and Facebook group will be back here tomorrow, the same time, 5 p.m. Those of you that were not able to get the questions, like Aixa, who has admin processing, and Mick and OS and Solia, come back tomorrow and I will get your questions. Thanks for watching, guys. And again, if you need to get a hold of me and book a one-on-one, you're watching this live right now, you know what to do. Just send me a text to this number and we will be with you right away. All right. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow.